last two picks coming out here. And Assassin Phoenix going to grab the Cassiopeia, but the last pickup is going to be, looks like their top laner. It could always be, Cassiopeia top with an AP Soraka mid. I don't know. There we go.
No, you'll see
Sasha's pick up Olaf.
Yeah, you'll see Sasha's pick up his top lane. And Olaf, he is a very strong Olaf. Seen him many times. Gone against him a few times actually myself. Not very fun to lane against him when he plays Olaf. And Cassiopeia, in my opinion, one of the strongest APs right now in the game. So she'll definitely go mid up against Mordekaiser, which should be a rather interesting matchup.
I'll tell you what's going to be interesting about this matchup is not necessarily the middle lanes, which are also going to be extremely strong just on both sides. They're both really strong pushers. They both have a lot of burst damage and a lot of sustained damage too. But what I'm really going to be looking forward to is the bottom lane, just to see how Licensed Opponent Star decides to deal with Assassin Phoenix on Urgot. I think that's going to be really, really interesting to see, just because I haven't found a way to successfully lane against Urgot. I know a lot of other top teams have been having a lot of problems with him as well, and you really just have to dodge his skill shots, because if he starts landing a Noxian Corrosive Charge on you, you're going to take a lot of guaranteed damage.
Yeah, very much so. I actually laned against one earlier today as Vayne, and it did not go well at all. His range, if he hits with that, is just insane, and he can just hit you 3 times and you're down to a quarter life left. So definitely going to be tough for Graves there in bottom lane. Even with the Janna being able to keep Urgot away, it's still not going to be enough with the range that he has. So picks have been made, countdown has begun. So bottom 2 picks, Osashis on Olaf and Vladimir, which should be an interesting lane, I believe, with the sustain of both champions coming out.
Yeah, that's going to be one thing to keep an eye on. The other thing to keep an eye on are the different styles coming out from their junglers. Both of them do have suppress, so they're really similar in that respect. The only difference is that Skarner usually goes a more gold per 5 centric jungle, whereas Warwick usually goes for that Wriggles, usually goes for a lot of aggressive items that need to result in kills. So you may see more of a passive farm pressure based jungle style coming out from Skarner, whereas Kefkakorn could possibly go for a lot of more of an aggressive style as far as getting kills from the jungle are concerned. So I think that's going to be something to pay attention to and see how that exactly unfolds during this game. Speaking of this game, this will be using the brand new spectator mode. So even if I do crash out this time around, I will be able to get back in thanks to having these fine people on my friends list. So it's going to be pretty interesting. So I'll be looking forward to keeping everything synced up, and now even if I do get ahead or behind, we can pause or sync everything to where it's back up to speed.
Yeah, a lot of cool features coming out, especially when you're a caster. It helps a lot. My favorite being the directional camera that just follows around all the action, because I know I have missed a lot of action and a lot of kills. So that's going to help out a ton, which I've noticed just messing around with it over the last couple days. Helps you get in on that action that you might have missed. Sometimes it's still a little slow and you might want to see some action, so that's good that it lets you out of that and you can jump right back to it if needs be.
Yeah, it will jump right back to the directed camera if you do go outside of it, which is always helpful.
Yeah. Has been real nice. So about 1:30 left on the delay. We'll get in here. Good matchups coming out. We'll see in the jungle, we'll see a Warwick Skarner jungling alongside for both teams, and then bottom lane Urgot Soraka going against Graves and Janna. We'll see the Cassiopeia and Mord in the mid, and top lane will be Olaf versus Vladimir. So very good matchups. I can't see any of the lanes really being too overmatched there. Too bad of picks. that bottom lane will be interesting to watch with the Urgot Soraka. A lot of sustain coming out with Soraka being with Urgot, and then the Janna and Graves. It'll be tough for Urgot to get a little bit closer, but as long as he lands his skill shots, it's going to be really tough for Graves to stay in and keep farming.
Yeah, I think that's definitely going to be something to watch out for. The bottom lane, actually, yes. I'm actually, like I said earlier, it's going to be mid, bottom, top, and jungle. All definitely have things to focus on, but the bottom lane is just going to be really rough early on. And I think if Graves can kind of take that hit and make it through the early game without getting too far behind, I really think that he can start to come out and do some massive damage here. I don't know. I've definitely believe in both of these teams. We've seen them both win their fair share of games, and this time around we're going to kind of see. It's not necessarily a tiebreaker, but just an update on exactly which one is still reigns supreme.
Yeah, exactly. Will be interesting.
All right, so here we go. We're checking out the skin battle here. We do have Assassin Phoenix running Battlecast Urgot, and then there's Desperata Cassiopeia and Broloff, all very very awesome skins. You do have Hired Gun Graves and Bloodlord Vladimir. So some legendary teams on both sides, but the skin advantage does still go to Safety X, Assassin Phoenix, and Osashis.
Skin battle's always important. As we all know, when we were first level 1s, whoever had the most skins won, so...
Hey, it's true. I remember when they first implemented the policy where if you get your new account to level 3, you get 400 IP, and as soon as you saw those Assassin Master Yis pop up, you knew something was up.
Exactly. So, here we go. We'll get in. I see everybody is loaded. I am not in the game yet.
Alright, well make sure to hit me up with your game counter so we can make sure that everything is synced up here.
Yeah, not sure what's going on. It's everyone summoning. And here we go. I'm 19 seconds.
I'm at 21, 22, 23. Sweet! Alright, so we're getting into this. This is week 7 of Utah Law Battles?
Yes, week 7.
Oh man, that's pretty far into the season. How many weeks are in the season?
I believe there is 11.
Alright, so we are nearing the end.
Yes, tournament taking place at the beginning of June. I believe it's June 9th. So that's actually really close, almost only a month away.
Man, I am really pumped to see exactly how this game unfolds, just because this could be, the sort of a harbinger of how that tournament will go down. So, Bald and Deaf will be the purple team, if I'm not correct. I mean, if I'm correct, right?
Yeah, purple team. Red on my screen. I have colorblind mode, so Bald and Deaf will be red, and Unwilling to Quit is blue.
Alright, so just so you guys know, if you guys aren't familiar with these teams, both of them did compete in the finals of last season's tournament at the Utah Law Battles. So this is going to be a rematch between Bald and Deaf and Unwilling to Quit, whose name I have since learned from casting that tournament where I mutilated it so many times.
Yes, very much. And they actually changed their name a few weeks before the tournament, so... But now they're Unwilling to Quit. But we won't see any invade here early. I don't think either team is really set up for an invade at level 1. So both teams will stay out of each other's jungle. They were all just guarding the exits is what it was going on. And it looks like Warwick will start red here. And Skarner starting blue. Not sure what Unwilling to Quit. I know recently they've had some breakthroughs with early dragons, so we'll see what they try and pull off here with Warwick having an early red.
Yeah, now that does mean both junglers are going to be in the bottom side of the jungle. Kilroy is here. Is actually going to come up here with Kefka Corn. What?
We might see a 2-minute... yes, we will. We'll see the 2-minute dragon. They've been working on this very hard as of recent.
Yeah, and here comes Olaf down from top lane. He's missing so much CS. Hashishun does not know what's going on. Kilroy is here. Is going to pull the dragon away, allowing as much attack damage as possible, or attack speed as possible from both Asashis and Capricorn. You do have the heals coming out. And on the Bestio knows something's up. There goes Safety X trying to keep him away from the dragon. It's getting super aggro and actually pulling the dragon away. They're going to actually reset the dragon as bottom lane does come up. It was nearing half health, and I definitely think that that would have been a possibility to pick that up, but unfortunately, thanks to good awareness from bottom lane, they do prevent one of the earliest dragons I have ever seen.
Yes, I know they'd been practicing that. I wasn't sure if they'd be able to get it. They did get it off in an earlier match this season, but good bot lane having that awareness and seeing Urgot going up to dragon, they were able to follow and kind of force them out of there.
Yeah, and one of the interesting things to note about this, having not seen that strategy before, here are a couple of reasons why that works. What they did was they gave Osashius the blue buff. They gave pulls to both buffs, to top lane and then also to their jungler. So both junglers hit level 2, and then also, that gives them another skill, more stats and everything they need. So then they both run straight to dragon after clearing each of them one half of the jungle. And sure, the top lane misses out on a little bit of experience top lane, but he makes up for that by picking that up in the jungle, and that just sets them up for a really strong dragon. See, when you're in the jungle, you hit level 2 faster than your lanes, which means that you have more of an advantage faster, and that's what did allow them to go for that dragon. Unfortunately, a little bit of an unsuccessful gank there from Punky Child onto Safety X, so it's going to result in still a 0-0, and it's only 4 minutes and 20 seconds, and it feels like a lot later since we've been talking about dragons so much.
Yeah, that early dragon really makes the game seem like it's later in, but a lot of poke going out on Vladimir's top lane by Olaf. And looks like a ward coming down from Vladimir. He must be a little afraid that Kefkakorn is close, being so low that he is. And Olaf being able to just kind of zone Vladimir out right now, but mid lane there's a gank coming out with Skarner.
Yeah, it takes Safety X down to about half health and is going to keep the health potion running there. I'm actually pretty interested in this bottom lane where it looks like Assassin Phoenix has actually taken more damage from Licensed Bone Star, who actually hasn't burned a potion yet, and Assassin Phoenix actually starting with Doran's Blade. Excellent job using the dash, the attack speed increase for Licensed Bone Star to get out of the way from Noxian Corrosive Charge and keep himself safe just that much longer. However, they have evened up their health pools, but Sasha's top lane has gone back. He's picked up boots, tons of potions, as well as cloth armor that he did start out with. So I'm not sure why he has that cloth armor picked up. It could have been just for the early jungling, but it's not going to help him very much against Vladimir.
Yeah, very right. And he will come up river here and try to get... Oh, but he does not... Oh, he's just going to throw a ward in that tribush. So they both have wards in the tribush there. Vladimir obviously seeing the ward go out. And the ping going out that there's a ward there, so...
Actually, so with that ward guarding bottom lane and then top lane guarded there for the blue team as well, it's going to keep Olaf pretty safe from Skarner ganks. I mean, Olaf is already pretty safe from Skarner ganks just because you just hit R and then cannot take the suppression there from Skarner. Assassin Phoenix actually getting tons of damage done to Licensed Bone Star, dropping him down to just a couple hundred HP thanks to the massive range of that Acid Hunter.
Yeah, and top lane, Olaf just being able to force Vladimir back out of lane so he cannot get very many creeps right now, but still up even with the zoning out that's going on. I think that early back that Olaf had to take hurt him a little bit there. But as we can see, just as we talked about earlier, Urgot is being able to land those Qs, and Graves had to make an early back, or Qs, I mean, what is it that he lands? The
Acid Hunters?
Yeah. Being able to land those.
The Acid Hunter connects to the Noxian Corrosive Charge, and his ult is also really wacky. It's the Hyperkinetic Position Reverser, as well as his Terror Capacitor. So he has like the wackiest move names of any champion that I know of.
And he is just able to stand in there and take a lot of damage, and we'll get first blood on Janna, while he was just able to take damage from both Janna and Graves almost under the turret. So
that is why, or actually Olaf top lane, it's going to go on to Hashishun, forcing the pool instantaneously. It's just like, and plus got the true damage off as well. That's going to be 20% of his health, as well as he's not leveling Reckless Swing, so it only deals 100 true damage. But that was a lot of burst coming up from Olaf top lane. That's going to set him pretty far ahead in his lane, and now that Hashishun just came back in the lane, is already down at half health.
Yeah, very much. And Assassin Phoenix did get really low there, but with that Soraka heal is able to get back up to almost half health without any problems, and will be able to stay in lane. I thought he was going to have to go back, but I forget Soraka is there to help him out. And Olaf just keeps poking away at Vladimir. Vladimir, however, has that range, so he is still able to pick up creeps and keep his creep score at a decent. And that pool is saving Vladimir a lot from the Olaf.
Yeah, but it does also have a lot of really long cooldowns. It's about 20 seconds. And 25 seconds actually, so that's not something that he's going to be able to use all that often. And once that pool is down, that's really going to limit Vladimir's options. It is just now right back up. Will we actually see it being used again? It's Hashishun is all the way down at 430 HP, so that's I don't know about that. It's really risky, especially since Osashis is at full health. And once this midget wave goes to turret, there's a high possibility we could see Olaf dive Hashishun. He's probably just going to go up there and pressure to blow the shield, or to blow the pool, but he doesn't want to do too much. And now that Hashishun has actually cleared the wave out, he will be safe just a little bit longer.
And it looks like Bald and Deaf does have a ward there at the race, so they do know where Warwick is at. However, Warwick just barely hit level 6, and Janna is going back. But a ping coming out that they think they know where Warwick is, so I'm guessing Warwick might come up lane and try and get a lane gank here. He has been known to do that. I've become victim to that many times from Kefkakorn. But it looks like he will, and he has the patience to wait out. But he does have his ult.
Bottom lane, a double suppression there on Licensed Pwnstar coming out from Kefkakorn to flash away. Will they let Licensed Pwnstar escape? It does look like Kefkakorn is going to get slowed there by Jen and actually getting burst out by a combo from Licensed Pwnstar. Grace taking down Warwick, just turns around and says, "What's up, son?" And meanwhile, mid lane, I didn't hit, or actually, that was actually bottom as well. I'm the Bestio comes down from mid, and it's just like, I can do the same thing. And turns on the burst damage.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think they knew Janna was that close in lane. Oh, a lot of damage going out on Olaf top lane. Vladimir ult coming out, but Osasha's barely going to get away from the ignite and the ult from Vladimir.
Yeah, but bottom lane, Janna did fall there, again to... again to Urgot, and so it's going to make it 2-0 Urgot, and he really is accomplishing what he has set out to do.
Yes, very much. So just a mini team fight going down there by the Dragon. Both teams going to back away right now as Soraka is just barely getting back into lane after being picked off by Mordekaiser. But top lane Vladimir is able to get to the tower, not getting a lot of damage off, but able to get better lead on the creep score from Olaf when he had to force him out basically on that top lane.
Counter pinks going on around the dragons, so that's going to give the blue team a lot of presence down there in the bottom of the map. And if you check out the red wards, or purple if you don't have colorblind mode on, you can see that there's just a couple bottom lane and absolutely nothing top lane for the purple team. Another counter pink coming out from Officer Naughty. He's willing to play that game all day long. He drops another one in the tri-brush, and he's just like, I don't think you understand where our wards are going. They're all bottom lane. Just look how many wards they have. 1, 2, 3, 4 wards bottom alone.
Yes, very ward happy bottom lane, but It is
Oh,
necessary.
SafetyX standing on top of a ward in the bush. Funky Child's going around the corner, but they're gonna actually check. Oh, they wanted to make sure SafetyX think that they didn't know where he was, when in fact they did. And oh, with that ult, was that actually a steal?
No.
I'm actually gonna hit the backspace button so I can watch that again.
They did not get the steal.
Man, even though Funky Child was in the very, in the vicinity, came in there just a little bit too late, and yes, that dragon did go to the blue team, which is Bald and Death, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Bald
Okay.
and Death barely missing the steal there. With
Top
the
lane.
great result.
Yeah, the top lane has been kind of back and forth so far. Nothing happening, it's all zeros on both players' stats, and that's actually pretty significant just because, top lane, if it's a farm fest, I feel like Olaf scales really well. There's the bottom lane. We do see a gank. I'm not caught up to where everybody else is. So, once again, I was a little bit behind with Warwick ulting over the wall, over the Janna. Oh my goodness. Just barely in range, just enough to pick her off.
Yes, Urgot almost got Graves. He flashed, but Graves was able to dash away before Urgot could land his Noxian Corrosive Charge. So he was able to escape there, but Janna was caught way out of position, and Urgot was able to get her low enough to where Warwick just ulted over the wall and finished her off. A lot happening there.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive, and as much has happened there, that's still going to make it only 3-3. What was significant is that Bald and Death did make a substantial comeback from being down initially. There's the ignite, and will the burst damage be enough from either member? Oh my goodness, it looks like SafetyX could actually get away here alive. He does have the Mordekaiser ult on him, but it looks like it will wear off in time for her to go back. She has to wait for it to, the debuff to leave before she hits the back button, but it's just going to run back to her turn and will make it out of there. Like I said, so much burst damage from both champions. I definitely thought Mordekaiser was going to come out ahead, but Mordekaiser's damage comes in successive bursts, whereas SafetyX's was persistent, and so while Mord was stunned, she was able to get off more damage than Mordekaiser could do to her, and SafetyX coming out there with the nice 1v1 ending in her favor.
Yeah, and I believe that pot might have saved her, even though the ignite and the Mord ult was on her. I believe the pot that she popped there could have saved her, basically saved her life.
Yeah, and that's definitely one of the hallmarks of top-level players is that you do see, little micro improvements like that, just making sure to hit that when you go into team fights. Can save your life. Now Skarner is actually coming in here for a gank. Buddy was spotted by an absolutely amazing ward here, placed around the Wraith camp entrance to the top jungle there for Bald and Death, and it's going to see Funky Child and keep Cassiopeia safe one more time. There's the ult actually coming out from Kilroy this here. Will Assassin Venus go down? It looks like Licensed Bozar is trying to be far enough back to avoid any of those Acid Hunters. Officer Nani, however, is going to get the slow off. Will that be enough? No, the ult comes out from Assassin Venus. Is going to give him a lot of bonus defensive stats. Licensed Bozar could get dropped down here. Then he pops the troll heal, but will it be enough? One more auto attack picks up the kill on Licensed Bozar. Assassin Phoenix looks for the second one on Officer Nani. Lands the Noxian Corrosive Charge and picks it up. The double kill with this Acid Hunter. So that is exactly what Urgot does. Only Urgot could have come out ahead in that situation. You just saw how strong he was in the midst of adversity. He actually gains 80 armor and magic resist after he completes the channel. And that just made it so hard. But top lane, Hashishin's going to get jumped on. He's actually going to be prevented from using the pool for so long. And will the Ignite pick up the kill? It looks like no. Vladimir lives. Hashishin getting away with the under 20 health.
Wow. That pool saving his life, even though Ignite was on him. Very close call. Whew. I thought for sure he was going to go down there. However, that pool seemed to save him. Even though Ignite was on him, he was able to dodge that axe during the pool. So, a lot of action going on right there. Urgot coming out on top with the double kill bottom lane, as we saw, and then Vladimir barely escaping the Warwick ult. So,
yeah, that is really impressive. You didn't see actually Vlad pop a health potion. I would have loved to see that just to make it a little bit more safe and calm my heart a little bit, but that was definitely a close call. But Hashishin making it out alive, doing what Vladimir is doing. Now he is back in lane after having gone back, so he already has his Will of the Ancients, and this is the new Will of the Ancients, and so it does have a lot more AP, and actually broadcasts a lot more AP on the Aura. It actually is 30 AP for Aura instead of 20.
And it still stacks, right?
Yes, it does.
So they still have that double, and they do have the double that Mord has it and Vladimir, so that will come in handy once those teams fight start to occur. All the AP is going to be able to benefit from that aura that they'll have with the spell vamp. And ping's coming out at Dragon. Dragon is not there. Did somebody?
Yeah, I think that they're just pinging for the respawn timers. The next improvements, or the next, not the next patch, but the one after that, will actually include caster-enabled timers for all of the major buffs, which I'm really looking forward to. And yeah, I think I could use that right about now, but it does look like Dragon is about to come up. You see a lot more warding going on around that area. Now on the Bestio and Hashishin coming down, they know the timers, and they actually do not have the coverage of that area. They're going to be immediately spotted by the ward, and now all 4 members here for Bald and Deaf are going to come in here. They want to do it, but there's a ping ward right there, and so they are not going to be at the advantage here in this fight by any means, and it looks like they recognize that and will just back off. See, you can tell there's a ward there because as soon as you approach that area, the entire enemy team disappears.
Right.
And that's exactly what Unwilling to Quit did do. They all walked out of lane into the bush where they're standing right by Dragon. Each team knows where the other one is right now, so essentially what we're going to see is both teams are untargetable. They're just going to stay out of everyone's zone, do the very best that they can, but the thing that Unwilling to Quit has to learn is their top lane is being pushed. However, it's being pushed to turret, and there's a cannon minion versus non-cannon minion wave, which is going to keep things from pushing too far. However, they are all in the Dragon Pit. Will this be enough? Assassin Phoenix drops the ult on behind the fence. He's going to get suppressed immediately, turns down, and now he sustains for the burst just long enough to get off his full combo. Will it be enough? However, Hashishin dropping down extremely low once again, and he, as his post-art officer Nani, will be the only surviving members from their team. Looks like Starter's bringing up the rear, but not really in a position to do absolutely anything. Every single member from Unwilling to Quit is extremely low, but I don't think that's going to it's going to matter too much just because of how dead. What?
The dot got him.
I'm hitting the backspace button, I'm watching Assassin Phoenix run in there. There's the licensed pwn star, takes an acid header, takes an Oxy and Corrosive charge, takes one more acid header, but lives. And no, the dot ticks down to the last 30 damage and picks up the kill there on Graves. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that Corrosive charge doing what it's meant to do with that dot. Him being unable to escape there from Urgot, and it looks like bottom lane will pick up the tower there. Janna not going to be able to do much against Soraka and Urgot. So both teams going to have one turret here. Janna ulting, trying to save that tower, but she is going to end up dead from that ult. Not sure what she was doing there. So Janna falls to Urgot, who is doing massive amounts of damage to anyone that really comes into range of his combo.
Yeah, and the Urgot Warwick pickup is just so strong. I would have loved for them to play like a Malzahar middle lane. I actually think they could have done that, just because Malz can outpush Mordekaiser, and that's really something you want to do if you're staying in his lane. And that would have meant triple suppress, so essentially the suppression for Urgot swaps somebody in, and then you just double suppress them, so at least one person on the enemy team will die every single team fight. And especially if you ult, if you double suppress one carry and then suppress the other carry, it's just a bunch of beefy tanks doing damage, and if your tank can keep them off the people doing the suppression, then that's exactly what you want to go for. So that's it's a really powerful team comp, and it's doing so well here for Unwilling to Quit. They are actually rolling around the Baron area, but once again they're standing on top of a ward, and Kilroy was here, is going to scout that out. They're going to realize that their position has been revealed, and now they're all grouping up here around Baron. They don't know where Unwilling to, or where Bald and Deaf are. They're just kind of clearing wards around Baron, looking to do this, but when you clear wards around Baron, you're either looking to bait it or you're looking to force a team fight. And so that does look like what Unwilling to Quit is trying to do.
Yeah, they Unwilling to Quit is big on getting those early Barons. They love doing that and being able to have that Baron early with the 300 gold to every member, and the buff is very substantial, especially at the 20-minute mark in the game. So I think they will start to initiate here on Baron to see. They do not know Mord is back at his base, so right now they are swapping wards. One is throwing a ward up, one's throwing him down, and they're just taking him down one at a time. Looks like Urgot was trying to pick off one person, and he does land. No, he barely misses. Hit on Janna, who would ultimately have gone down there. But I think Urgot way overextended there, and the Biscuit burst down without any problems, and you see the Urgot Ghost, so they are going to have to retreat very quickly, because that Ghost will put out a lot of damage on whoever is caught in their wake. And Cassiopeia going the wrong way, but ulting, able to pick up Mordekaiser, but ultimately falling to Sharner. Hefgoodporn trying to get in there, but will fall as well.
And man, that was a really good exchange. You saw a perfect turn there from Warwick, just trying to save Safety X. Did wind up picking up Mordekaiser, but cost them 2 members of Unwilling to Quit. And you know, like their name, they're not ready to give up quite yet. They did kind of lose that team fight, but oh wait, they're up almost double the kills even still. And so that was a really good job by BaD.flv to make the best effort they possibly could to come back from you know, being down so many kills. If you look at the gold count, it's still extremely close, even though the kills are doubled. The gold is within 4,000 or 300 gold. So gold count almost like exactly the same. Hashishin forced the flash over the wall. Vladimir was trying to counter jungle the red buff there from Unwilling to Quit, but Sasha showed up and was like, I don't think you understand. It's my blue buff.
Don't mess with the Brolaf. Yeah, I think Urgot just got a little bit too overconfident there. He was 7-0-2 and was just trying to pick off somebody else. Definitely got a little ahead of himself. And
yeah, and in case you're wondering whether or not BaD.flv has figured out Unwilling to Quit strategy, just check out their item choices. You see a Quicksilver Sash on Graves, a Quicksilver Sash on Mordekaiser, and they definitely don't want either one of their carries getting swapped in there by Urgot. So it's such an early Quicksilver Sash, though, that I feel like Urgot's move in and of itself has accomplished its goal in delaying any items for Graves. You look at Graves' items, sure he has 130 farm, but he only has a BF sword, and there's actually the Ultimate Officer Nadia. It looks like Janet getting burst down immediately. Look at so much damage!
That Urgot just destroyed, ripped Janna to pieces.
That's exactly what's been happening every team fight. They either look to pick someone, or they just have such a strong team fight with all those suppressions. Now those suppressors will be down. There's actually going to be Licensed Pulsar throwing his smoke bomb over the edge, and will they actually be able to do this Baron fast enough? It's not going to start regenerating. There are 2 wards inside the Baron pit, so they're going to use 6 autos to turn that, but they're actually going to turn off a Baron. Now she's getting ulted and then crushed immediately. Will go down there, but that does mean that Safety X will go down as well. Sasha's dropping really low, could go down, yes! Licensed Pulsar gets hit by the Noxian Crows in charge, and one more Acid Hunter will pick up the kill. No! It does almost enough damage, and no, he gets away with the Janus Shield. Officer Donnie's there, but Assassin Phoenix flashing over the wall. He tries to land one more, but the Janus Shield goes away. The very last second, could Safety X's Ghost take this well enough? No, he goes down, and so does the Ghost. Kilroy is here, is battling it out with Buggy Child. Kilroy takes it! Oh my goodness, Kilroy outfighting the jungler there.
The Baron still from, I believe it was Urgot who threw a Noxian charge in there and stole Baron right before Skarner could land another Q.
Oh my goodness. I might actually just have to hit backspace one more time just to watch this. Okay, so yeah, I'm the best. Yo falls there to Baron. That's pretty inevitable, but it's dropping super low. Who actually gets the gold here? Assassin Phoenix tossing the Acid Hunter in there over the wall. Yeah, it was the Acid Hunter coming out from Urgot.
Clutch Baron still right there, I would have to say. That was huge. I believe if Bald and Deaf would have got that, it would have put them ahead slightly, but they would have also had that Baron buff, so...
Yeah, that is literally the only difference in this game. You know, we have 2 towers to 2 towers just now. It's 14 to 9. That's where the big differential. But the gold count even still is just as significant. Actually, the ult going off onto Assassin Bean. He did get knocked up. He's going to try to drop his ult for some extra defensive stats, but it will not do any damage and will result in once more Assassin Bean is getting picked off. So that is A, somebody without the Baron buff, and B, you don't have an AD carry anymore. And that is, oh my goodness, just, you know, turnarounds right and left here. Saw Baron's heal, and you saw AD carry get picked off. And it's not just picked off, it's picked off by Mordekaiser, which means now it's 6 versus 4.
Yeah, just getting caught out of position. I think he's getting a little bit too confident in his lead right now.
Yeah, he's 7-2, and he has Frozen Mallet and Mana Moon with Brutalizer. You see a lot of Urgots actually skip the Mana Moon and go for more damage like a Bloodthirster, but going the Mana Moon in combination with the Frozen Heart just means you have so much more mana. And actually, because they did update the stats, you can actually see that Mana Moon is half stacked, and it's actually giving him 50 AD from it. So it's essentially like a, you know, at max stacks with the Frozen Heart, it's going to be a little bit stronger than a Bloodthirster, but without the lifesteal.
Yeah, very much. And he actually picked up a Negatron cloak that time back, so definitely looking to have some defense when he pops his ult and is in there in the middle.
Yeah, I think that's actually going to be for a Quicksilver Sash, because just like you see the double Quicksilver Sash on both the carries for Bald and Deaf, Unwilling to Quit recognizes that they have Bald and Deaf has a suppress of their own in that Skarner. That's what picked off Urgot last time, and he's not going to let that happen again.
Yeah, very much. He does keep getting ulted by Skarner, which is ultimately leading to his...
It's ultimately leading to his...
Yeah. Ultimately leading to his ultimate death.
To the ultimate. Alright, so Dragon Timer is up. It looks like Unwilling to Quit is in perfect position for this buff. Well, it's not a buff, it's a buff of gold if you want to look at it that way. But they're not going to stick around. They're recognizing that they should probably do the pushings, take down the wards. So if you look at the ward coverage right now, hit that V button, you can see that for the blue team, they just have a couple wards, or 3 actually, bottom lane. Purple has a couple wards top lane aggressively placed in Unwilling to Quit's jungle. And so if they stay bottom lane, that's definitely going to give Unwilling to Quit the advantage, but if they decide to fight in their jungle, it's definitely going to give the advantage also to, premature Shirelius popped there from Funky Child, to Bald and Deaf. So Funky Child popping his Shirelius, wanted to go in there onto Assassin Phoenix, but you can see Funky Child leading the way once again. There goes down the ult from Suppression onto that Assassin Phoenix. He's not getting burst down quite as fast, however. He's super tanky, having completed that Frozen Heart is going to allow him to survive a lot longer. Could License Pulsar go down? No, he's going to just flash to the back, but no, there comes the QSS saving him from Warwick, and that's actually going to allow Warwick to go down. License Pulsar, oh my goodness, that was the perfect item choice. That is how Quicksilver Sash wins you games. Oh my goodness, perfect itemization. You see, if Urgot had had that Quicksilver Sash, it would have turned the game around in the opposite direction. It's just like that one item is so good. It just turned that game around once again.
Yeah, so detrimental. I don't think Warwick knew that he would be able to pop that. I'm not sure why he would go in like that behind there. Obviously trying to pick up Graves, who was super low, but able to pop the Quicksilver Sash and just get away and die. Or
and just like that, it is back to 14 to 12, and down to let's see, it's a 600 gold disadvantage. So things are back at essentially even after swinging widely in both teams' favors. You had a Baron, then you had a pickoff, and then you had a really successful team fight, and now it's perfectly even. You have 2 turrets to 2 turrets. The kills are separated by 2, and the gold is separated by 500. It's 30 minutes into the game, and still both teams have everything that they could possibly want. Now, the kills are situated in a little bit of a different, different layout for both teams. And if you check out the gold count, you can see the gold leader right now is Cassiopeia, at about 10,000 golds with 200 farm, and she is going to be able to itemize herself extremely well. Nobody for Bald and Deaf are over the 9,000 gold mark. It looks like Vladimir is the closest with 250 farm, but the farm here for Unwilling to Quit is just, well, it's pretty unwilling to quit. It just never stops. It keeps going, and it's going to start to be really evident that Unwilling to Quit has their gold focused, whereas Bald and Deaf has it spread out, and that's really going to make the players, or each individual on Bald and Deaf, or slightly weaker than their counterpart. But if they can get a pick off on either Cassiopeia or say Urgot once again, that just takes out so much more gold for them to have to deal with.
Exactly, and I think that Urgot getting caught a few times, 3 times I believe it is, has helped Bald and Deaf actually stay in the game, whereas he is fed, he has given up those 3 kills, and it's actually helped Bald and Deaf. They're able to just go in there without having to worry about an 80 carry from Unwilling to Quit.
Yeah, and especially since now you saw, I mean, you just look at Urgot's score, it's 7-3, and after having just completely crushing his laning phase, we're starting to get into the later parts of the games, and this is where a character like Graves with a Quicksilver Sash is going to start to really shine. You know, earlier on did have a little bit of problem getting items, but now has that Infinity Edge, and just now completing his deal, so he's going to have the bare minimum for late game 80 carriness, and going to start to scale up extremely strongly. Now Urgot does still have his suppression, that's going to play a major factor, but will it be enough?
Yeah, very much so. Urgot not finishing his Quicksilver Sash as of yet. He is sitting on 1,100 gold, and it looks like they're trying to force a Baron fight right now. From what
DX is out of the bush, he needs to make sure to stay in there, but now Kefkakorn is going to run out of there, push it back the wave, and they're like, nothing's actually happening here. So Unwilling to Quit is still positioning around Baron, and it looks like they are going to take their cue to walk up towards the buff and see if they can clear out those wards. Yes, it looks like Kilroy was here. He's going to be able to pick off one of the wards, but is it going to be enough? Oh my goodness, Janna actually doing a really good Baron trick. I've seen this a lot from top level players. If you know somebody's in the Baron pit, you just auto Baron and then back off so that your opponent is closer to Baron than you are, and it starts attacking them, and it just really turns around. It's like turning it into a 2v1, and it just gives you a really weird sense of superpower. Like, it's almost like having your own turret in the middle of the river.
Yes, I actually did pick up a kill like that the other day with the Alistair headbutt.
Nice. What, did you headbutt them into Baron?
Yeah, I did. And they were really low, and I was able to pick them off.
That's pretty slick. Yeah, so Baron's actually starting to be a lot more important than it used to be, just because, especially if if you play solo queue a lot, first Baron usually wins the game or makes a really strong crippling push. However, Funky Child's going to come in there, and actually, will it be a steal? Yes, it will. No, it won't.
No steal.
Might not be a steal, but you did see a licensed post-star pop is Quicksilver Sash once again. Stay in the back, and now he's going to be able to dish out massive damage from the back of the team. Lasash is going to get bursted down, and now there's an 80 carry here for Bald and Deaf. Will it be enough to push back Unwilling to Quit? Looks like he is going to jump onto Kefkakorn and SATX, but they turn around on him. Officer not into the danger zone. He's going to have to flash out of there. Kefkakorn makes the decision to go in after he flashes. He's not able to get the Q off onto licensed Pwn Star, and that means that that will be a 0-for-3 trade in the favor of Bald and Deaf.
Yeah, that Quicksilver Sash paying for itself once again. There.
And it's just like they completely shut down Urgot. It's like he falls off super hard late game, but he has a suppress. When you take that suppress away, really what does he do? He has some long range, so that's going to keep him safe in some team fights, but his DPS is just drastically lower than somebody like Graves.
Yep, very much so, and that proving itself right there just in that team fight. Even though Unwilling to Quit did pick off Baron, they weren't able to do much with it because they got picked off.
Exactly, and so really was that worth it? I don't know, and just like I've been talking about throughout this entire game, things are still entirely close, although it does look like, Team Jedi Riot, aka Bald and Deaf, are starting to pull away. They've started to secure a pretty interesting gold lead. It's only about 400 gold, so it's still extremely close, but they have a tower up but now we do see Urgot not actually turning it into a Quicksilver Sash. He's gone for the Banshee's Veil. I really like that pickup because that does continue to give him extra mana. Now you can see that actually 70 AD gained from Mana Moon, so still not as much as even an Infinity Edge would provide. So his damage is low, and his DPS is just non-existent. He has 0.9 attack speed. Whereas you look at a character like Licensed Clone Star is up at 1.2, just going to get even higher once he goes back and picks up his Phantom Dancer.
Yeah, Graves does get his Phantom Dancer there. So
he's almost at 2 attacks per second, whereas Urgot is at 1. And granted, Urgot can reset his auto timer by throwing in some Acid Hunters in between, but I don't like what's happening to Urgot. He's dominated early game, but they didn't close the game out fast enough, and now that it's going to this hyper late game, they're really going to have to shift focuses from relying on Assassin Phoenix to relying on Osashis playing Olaf. If you do look at Olaf, his items are extremely strong. He's already picked up his Zeke's Herald and Frozen Mallet. He's probably going to go for maybe a Hex Trigger later on, just because there is so much magic damage coming out from Unwilling to Quit, and you just need it synergizes really well with Olaf, because as he gets lower health, he gets more AD and more attack speed and everything you possibly want from your top laner. Plus, he does so much true damage. He's not going for a high CDR build, but he does have the CDR from the Kindle Gem, giving him 15% cooldown reduction. And if you check out his runes, does he actually have any more? Let's check that out. He actually has 0 more cooldown reduction, so he's not looking good at a high CDR for maximum amounts of true damage, but he is going to be stacking a lot of health, a lot of attack speed, and will be doing a lot of damage here in this upcoming fight.
Yeah, very much. I think right now Unwilling to Quit is just clearing their jungle, trying to get everybody with the correct buffs to try and I believe they would have to win a team fight here just to get back into it slightly. Not a huge advantage by BaD.flv. I mean, it's under 1k gold, but a lot of pings coming out. Unwilling to Quit does know Vlad is top lane, so they're gonna try and push his turret down, I believe. Vlad not making very good progress. He's trying to get back faster, but they do not have a creep wave with him. So Vlad's going to be able to make it back and turn it back into a 5 versus 5 fight. But will the turret go down first?
And actually, that turret is a really good bait there. Assassin Phoenix getting off his ult before Mordekaiser can pop his QSS. Mord gets switched in and will eventually fall down there. Assassin Phoenix will live. Capricorn, however, gonna get pushed into turret. Obsternati is the trade there for that kill. Osashis, however, will get picked up by the turret and the Skarner. Assassin Phoenix could be the next to fall. He's gonna pop his Terror Capacitor to try to get some slow, but now that a Shinshin, or Hashishin is in there, Assassin Phoenix has to force the flash over the wall. Will it be enough? He's gonna try to get those autos off to prevent them from chasing, but when it's 3-on-1, there's not a whole lot you can do as Urgot, who's not the most mobile AD carry, and that's also another thing that hurts him later on. And that was an excellent team fight under turret. You can see Assassin Phoenix really got a little bit, not necessarily too aggressive, but over-eager. He's like, okay, we have to make a play now. He goes for the swap, swaps himself under turret. Like, you just put your AD carry in the middle of their team underneath a turret. And sure, he has insane defensive stats, but when you are as strong as Unwilling to Quit is right now, or as BaD.flv is right now, it's not going to make you have a whole lot longer to live. And now it looks like they will push in onto their first base turret of the game. It will fall, and the inhibitor will fall immediately thereafter. Now, 4 members for Unwilling to Quit are up, so are they actually going to be able to finish off the inhibitor? They do. Will we see a Warwick? Oh, no, there's nobody to follow up on the Warwick damage, as Osashis was way behind Kefkakorn there, and that will allow the rest of BaD.flv to go ahead and retreat. Now, the big deal right now is that Baron buff is about to respawn here any minute now. You can see Hashishin going up for the blue buff. He's going to try to pick that off. Probably should give that to like a Warwick, but wants to be in position for this next Baron, and now that Licensed Clone Star is going up here to clear out those minions, that's going to set Unwilling to Quit up pretty solidly for this next Baron fight. And actually, Sasha is finding Janna in the jungle, but thanks to an excellent Tempest, will keep both players alive. Just going to go for a pushing game right now and try to reset things, as the game is kind of slipping away here from Unwilling to Quit.
And it looks like Vladimir's kind of getting picked off by Cassiopeia up top lane. He will fall to her. Vlad getting caught way out of position there. Unwilling to Quit, knowing where he was after the blue buff. And they'll also pick up that top turret as Assassin Phoenix just takes the shots from them without any problem. Ping's coming out. Looks like they do know their red buff right now. Oh, Soraka's got to be careful. Oh, able to silence Skarner before he's able to do anything.
And that was clutch right there. That silence saved her life. And actually, I'm a little bit debatable there because wasting the Skarner ult on the support is okay, but it does make it 4v5 without a Soraka. Soraka, probably one of the most influential supports right now, kind of along the lines of Janna. This is going to be one more Baron attempt here for Unwilling to Quit. Will this one go the way that the last one did and actually give the buff to Unwilling to Quit here? They do actually pick it up relatively uncontested. That's pretty impressive. You just saw the purple team Ball and Death make it all the way to their base, take out a base turret and an inhibitor, and then the counter push was just too strong from Unwilling to Quit. They had recently bought items, and they actually were all able to respawn before oh man, this is too rough, before Ball and Death made it all the way back to base to buy, so they had the gold advantage, or the effective gold advantage as far as items bought were concerned. And that's something you have to watch out for later game. The game tends to switch back and forth really widely just based on who makes use of their gold sooner. Teams are all out on the map, and as soon as you send someone back, you just lose a lot of map pressure. So you have to keep all your team out there on the map, which means you're not able to buy. So whoever goes back and buy has a really strong advantage. And you saw how effective that was at allowing Unwilling to Quit to pick up that Baron. Now, they are a little bit split up here. They have 3 top, and then Soraka's running around bottom lane. You could see sort of a Moscow 5 flash over the wall, but I don't think so. You're just going to see it warded. And now they have Unwilling to Quit cornered here. It looks like, yeah, we're going to get a little bit of sight in there from the Miasma coming out from Safety X, but will it be enough to give Unwilling to Quit enough of a position here? Actually, Funky Child's going to run in there. There's going to be the Cassiopeia ult. The flash backwards into an ult. Funky Child is going to probably go down. No taking so much damage. License Postar could be the first to fall, though. Funky Child goes down. Raze is dangerously low, but trying to escape. He's going to be able to live for so long. He's actually going to get out alive, and will Warwick be able to pick it up? Yes, he picks up the kill with a Q. It could go for the double on Hashishin. Waiting for it. Will he be able to grab it? No. Looks like Kilroy is here, and Assassin Phoenix are going to come in there. Drop down Vladimir. That was a 2-for-4 exchange. Absolutely wonderful splitting and team fighting coming out there for Unwilling to Quit. And they just didn't quit. They didn't give up. They stayed in there, and they fought the fights that they had to make. And when they saw Graves get split up, they stuck one person on him in Capricorn, and then let the rest of the team focus an advantageous fight for them down around the Baron or the Dragon area. And then once they took out Janna, it was or they didn't take out Janna. Once they took out licensed Polestar, it was kind of all over once Assassin Phoenix and the rest of the team showed up. So excellent team fighting, bringing it back to even as far as the kills are concerned. But the real concern is in the base here for Unwilling to Quit. They do have super minions almost in on to the Nexus turrets, and that's not where you want any sort of minions to be for your opponents. And so that does mean that they're going to have to back off, take care of their base a little bit after making a really strong push.
Yeah, definitely those minions top lane hurting as they got down a base turret while that massive team fight was going on. And Soraka just doesn't have enough damage to be able to push a lane right now, even though she does have that Starfall.
One of the interesting things to note as a contrast between this and Dota is that in Dota, the thing that caused lanes to start oscillating was the differing lengths of the lanes. Top lane was so much longer for one side than the other, and vice versa. Whereas in League of Legends, top is still a little bit longer, but they try to make them a little bit more even. However, turret steal...
Janna blowing her ult for no reason. Not sure what happened there.
What?
Might have misclicked. I don't know if you saw that.
I was trying to figure out what was going on. They're not saying anything about it in chat, so I'm going to assume it was just an accident, and that does mean that Unwilling to Quit is going to think that she still has her ult, but she actually does not. Massive item pickups from both teams. You see a Warmog's armor completed along with a Force of Nature. This Warwick right now is ridiculously tanky. Oh my goodness, if you look at Capricorn, he has 166 over 189. It's 178 over 220 once he gets his Wits End stacked up. And that's insane. He's just not going to die. He's going to be able to pop his ult, get in the middle of the team fight, and survive and deal damage, which is really what you are looking from. Similar to like Nocturne, people used to build him a lot more glass cannony, and then they realized that you ulted into the middle of the enemy team, and it really needed to be pretty tanky. That's what Warwick's figured out too. Used to see Warwick go, Bloodthirster and Madra's Blood Razors, and they're like, they give no defensive stats, so a lot more tanky builds coming out from Warwick's, and none, exactly what we see from Capricorn. He's just going to be a really big player in this next team fight, I feel. Urgot, maybe not so much. It's really going to be, like, there's this weird oscillation where your AD carry kind of starts to fall off, and it's all about the bruisers peeling for your AD carry, and it looks like the bruisers right now are pretty strong for Unwilling to Quit.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. They're Olaf and Warwick both with really good items. Olaf picking up a Negatron cloak there. Right now, Urgot has to be really careful as all of BaD.flv is in that bush right by red.
Oh man.
Unwilling to Quit has no clue that they are there right now.
And they actually may not be able to stay there. Top lane is pushing extremely hard in the direction of BaD.flv's base. Will Unwilling to Quit be able to capitalize on that? Yeah, Ping's going top lane. They see the massive push. Will they actually stay there? I don't know. It looks like, Capricorn and SafetyX are just now returning to base. They're going to be able to come back and do something about this. You see the initial back starting up. There's a massive wave up there, and now everybody's going to go back. They're like, okay,
they're going to have to. That turret will probably get down to half health before they get to it.
And yeah, they're just going to rush straight there. And, if you are Unwilling to Quit right now, then you're probably going to still keep watching the stream, which is good. But if you're the team Unwilling to Quit, then you're going to know that they had to recall. So you got positioning on the enemy team. You have timers on all the significant buffs, being Dragon and Baron, and you have just been back to buy. So right now, Unwilling to Quit is super strong right now. You already see almost full builds coming out from every single member of their team. Pretty much the only thing left for SafetyX to complete is going to be Azanya's Hourglass. Urgot is at maximum effectiveness, turning even his Brutalizer into a Youmuu's Ghostblade, so that's going to make up for the lost attack speed from not having like a Phantom Dancer and going crits. That's the other thing that makes Urgot scale down, is just flat ability damage instead of doing, and then they realize they're standing on top of a ward, instead of doing crit-based damage. Crit-based damage is so strong later on when you have so much crit chance that you basically crit all the time, and that gives you so many items effectively that Urgot just really cannot keep up with. Now he's super tanky, which is something that Graves is in fact not, but does have that QSS, which is going to keep him from being put too far in harm's way. And whereas Graves has a Last Whisper, Urgot is just going to have the Armor Pen coming from Youmuu's, and I really don't like that. Licensed Pwn Star is just going to start to get super, just off the chain right now. He has those 3 80 carry items, the Infinity Edge, Phantom Dancer, and Last Whisper, as well as the QSS to keep him safe, and I don't know if there's anything that Unwilling to Quit can do to stop Graves. If Graves gets to sit in the back and DPS for the entire fight, then easy peasy, BaD.flv win the game. But there are a lot of ults, a lot of utility, SafetyX, Assassin Phoenix, and Capricorn, the most notable ones there for Unwilling to Quit. And if those ults come up big, then they can make the plays for days and go on to win the game. Now Baron buff has respawned, and that will be the next objective here. And it looks like once again the initiators on this Baron fight will be Unwilling to Quit.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like they're going to be able to get there in time, as Graves and Vladimir are way too far away, and Unwilling to Quit will pick that up uncontested there.
And there's Funky Child getting ulted into the middle of the enemy team. Could he turn around and drop the ult? Yes, he does. Ult SafetyX. SafetyX immediately cleanses out of that, but will in fact go down on Will. Graves gets the DPS from the back. No, he gets picked up. Ashi just flashing away, but it is not enough. And Officer's not off the Gen ult, but it is not enough. And looks like Unwilling to Quit having a little bit of a problem here, but now that I'm the Bestio is going to drop down, that's going to be that is 3-on-1. Only Funky Child running back to his base. That was 2 for 4, and now that Assassin Phoenix, Capricorn, and Kilroy was here are still alive. That's going to give us, oh my goodness, yeah, they have such a strong Baron team, and with Warwick there, they just took that down so fast, and looks like this game is probably going to go here too unwilling to quit after just persevering and finally coming up big in that last fight.
Yeah, huge team fight there. Not sure what BaD.flv was doing. I'm pretty sure they knew they were all at Baron getting ready for that, but they were just out of position. Graves was far away, Vlad was far away. Unwilling to quit was just able to get that Baron, and ultimately led to being able to win that team fight and just being able to push mid and take down the Nexus there.
Man, I don't know what to say. The things that went well, like I mentioned, it was either going to be Graves or the ults coming out, and the ults were absolutely massive for Unwilling to quit. It was you had the flash ult swap there from Assassin Phoenix to start things off, and then immediately the suppression from Kefkakorn zoned out Graves to the back, while you saw Safety X just get absolutely demolished by Urgot. And once they separated Safety X, there was no peel for the AP carry. He went down, and that was 90% of their damage with it. Not 90%, but a significant part of it. And so they isolated Safety X, took him down, and then just cleaned up after themselves. And that will, in fact, give Unwilling to quit the win. By no means picking up all 3 points for this game, but definitely doing a lot of work, and they will still pick up the win there. So congratulations to them for taking that down.
Yeah, very good. I just found an interesting glitch right now. Right now, when I went to the victory screen, it shows blue team wins, and it's not even the game we just did.
No, it's wait. What is this?
It's Unwilling to quit one of their ranked games. It looks like against I don't know what team.
I think I have the right loading screen.
Do you? I do not.
I've definitely had that happen before, though.
That's interesting. I've never seen that before.
Something pointed out by one of our viewers, Realms, actually lets us know that the reason that they were out of position in that last fight, it's like a super easy Baron. I was like, why is everybody not there? As because the bottom lane was about to push to the tower, and so they were like, well, do we go back and check that out or not? And just a little hesitation, was enough to really sort of start the game.
Yeah.
Oscillating in their favor.
Yeah, so ultimately Baron once again showing its strength there. As we've seen in past weeks, Baron paying off and leading to the victory there for I'm losing my voice, and I didn't even talk as much as you. Unwilling to quit, picking up the victory over BaD.flv in this Week 7 matchup. Very good game by both teams. Very long game, 50-minute game. We don't see those a lot. So, very well done. Looking forward to their next matchup, whenever that might be. Both teams doing really well. I don't know what else to say about it. Very good game. Very enjoyable.
Yeah, it was definitely a high-quality game from two very high-quality teams, and definitely some favorites for the entire Utah League of Legends Battles tournament. So definitely have to keep our eyes out for both of those teams. And if you guys want to leave feedback for either myself or for Zubu here, just go ahead and head over to Utah LOL Battles, the Facebook page, and drop us some comments and. Support both of these teams. Comment there saying, "Oh my goodness, Unwilling to quit is so awesome. We love you guys." Way, and stuff like that. So just make sure to participate in the community. Thanks for watching, everybody. Do we have a viewer count for exactly how many awesome people tuned in to watch us?
We got up to 30 there. Right now we're at 24. So pretty good viewership for us. That's why we kind of delayed it there to see how many more people we could get. I know we have a lot of our fans that were playing games. Looks like 32 is the count from what people saw.
Oh man, that's pretty awesome.
So that's pretty good. That's why we delayed it a little bit, 20 minutes, so we could get a few of those other teams watching it. I know everybody's excited for this matchup. Hopefully we can kind of start doing this a little bit more as we near the end. Games are going to start to count a lot more, so maybe we'll have to delay it a little bit more so other teams can watch. I know a lot of our fans are on other teams, so they do play during the scheduled times that we're usually casting. But yeah, viewership right now is at 24, apparently, is what I got on my count. So thanks to everybody for watching once again this week. Good game coming out. If you want to check out the replay, it will be posted on YouTube hopefully it will be by tomorrow. I'll be able to post it on there, and you can watch it again and see this amazing game that just went down between Unwilling to Quit and Bald and Deaf.
Oh man, so I'm definitely gonna, be watching for that video to come out, just because that last team fight was insane. It's like I feel like there's so much to learn from that fight, and exactly how it happened, and like the different decisions from both teams. I'd really love to take a second look at that, so I cannot wait for that to come out.
Yeah, that will come out. No, it'll come out tomorrow. I'll get it started. Doesn't take very long. It will be posted on Facebook when it's up on YouTube, so you can just check it out. Follow us there for any of our Utah League battles news and updates. We do post every week. Like us on there, and you can find out more about when we're playing and everything like that, who's playing. We also have our website at utahlol.com that shows stats. You can check out what teams are where and where everybody ranks.